listen, if you want to do like a real quick live, I just want to hear how it sounds. To be
Okay.
honest,
Okay. Cool.
I know on your end it's gonna be good, but my fucking phone is on fire too. I don't know why.
Is burning up? Is it really hot?
Alright. Oh shit! Apparently we're live. What the fuck?
Yeah. That's you.
I
Just
don't even
basically
remember,
sent me a live.
bro. I don't
You sent me a
even.
go live together. That's what it's all.
I
It's
didn't
phone
even
only.
remember pressing the live button. What the fuck?
You don't got to, because once I join, it goes live. I think
Oh man, I don't like that.
live, and that's it.
Okay,
No freak. There's no
that's some bullshit. I
warning.
didn't even see that shit. All right, bet. So let me hold on. All right, so I took my earphones out. You can hear me?
Yeah, you're just fine.
Okay, I might put them back on. Oh man, dude. You were saying this app, like, see, that's for the people with the Androids and shit, man. I
I,
can't do none of that shit.
you got Apple?
Yeah, I had
Oh,
an
see, that's
iPhone for
what's up. Oh,
mad
see,
long.
that's why you're fucked up, because you got Apple. That's why you can't get YouTube revans on Apple. See, I
Yeah,
thought you had
nah,
Android. See,
yeah. Nah, what happened to me was I had Androids, like my first phones were Androids, and they just kept getting viruses and fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
that's what's
fuck.
yeah. That's only the bad thing about Android. They do get viruses easy, but you can get malware bites for free, and you can do a
Yeah,
viral scan.
yeah,
It's like having Windows, man. The downside of Android is you can get viruses, but you get most of the shit is free.
right.
Unlike Apple, everything you got to pay for.
Yep. Literally everything. And that's what I want to get I want to get another phone, and I do want to get an Android, just like
Get Android for real.
get that one on the side and shit. But did you see this Kanye interview where he went on Piers Morgan, and then apparently he stormed out or whatever? Did you see that shit?
Who? Who'd you have?
He went on Piers.
What?
Kanye went on Piers Morgan.
Oh, I didn't see the Piers Morgan with Kanye yet. No.
Yeah. So this dude, like, I don't even know what he asked him. Like, he was just basically, I don't even think he asked him a question. Kanye got mad because Piers Morgan got the number of followers on Twitter wrong. He
And, and they and Kanye was I have felt has been an industry plan from day one, because he's the type of fool that acts crazy. His character is to literally act crazy,
yeah,
and he just acts crazy. He's right behind, like he's number one, and Cat Williams is number two of the clown who acts like they're exposing the Illuminati but never do.
right. Yeah, I said the same thing in that interview he did. You know what pissed me off about that Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp was he talked about everybody else, but he didn't talk about what rituals he had to do. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's the cap. That's why I said it when I first saw the shit. He's like, he didn't say that he took it up the rear, because we all know Cat Williams was never a pimp and never will be a pimp. He's just an effeminate Negro that has a perm that is willing to play the fake pimp on TV in a movie, but he ain't never been no pimp for real. He's a little fruity guy that is just a homosexual.
Yeah, and he played a fruit booty in that movie First Sunday.
Hmm.
You know,
I never
so
saw that shit, but I heard about it.
yeah, he played a fruit booty, and so it's just funny how these people they all do the same thing. They all talk about everybody else. That's why I
Remember
don't
in his
even.
first movie, Friday After Next, he plays a fake, always playing an effeminate pimp. He played an effeminate pimp. Terry
Yeah,
Crews just got out of prison. It's a funny scene,
yeah,
but it's still not reality, because he plays an effeminate pimp. Terry Crews walks in the bathroom on him, and then
hmm,
he somehow passes out and gets a vice grip off the toilet and grabs Terry Crews's nut. And it's
right,
like Terry Crews would have just got her a little bit from the nut hugging, and then would have slapped him until took his cheeks.
Right. And it's like even though they didn't show, him getting raped or whatever, I mean, it's everything is alluding to him having his masculinity being taken
He
from
would
him.
have
You know
been.
what
He
I'm saying?
screamed like a girl when the guy approached him, and he would have been taken if it
Yeah.
wasn't a comedy movie.
Yeah. And it's like, what what the fuck is funny about a nigga getting raped? I don't understand how
Well,
that's
it is
funny,
funny.
man.
It is funny.
I can't even I can't laugh at that shit, bro. That's the
Mm.
furthest thing from funny, bro. Nigga getting his
You
ass
laugh. You
took.
see, you're a hypocrite. You know you laughing right
A
now.
nigga getting his ass took.
You know
Hell
it's funny.
no, man. That shit hurt. That shit hurt to think about.
Yeah, because that is. And Terry Crews is a big. I don't know how well endowed he is. He's a big dude.
Yeah,
You'll never be able to shit right again.
yeah, fuck that. Um, so yeah, this guy Kanye, man. I was just because I was talking to my friend, and I was just basically asking him like, what do you think his end game is? Is he just talking shit, or does he actually have a plan to go against these people with the thick sideburns and shit like that? Like, I just feel like he doesn't even have a plan, or I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
Kanye West's deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye West's deal is to do be the Illuminati seller he is, just like Cat. You know, when you see the Eddie Griffin make fun of Club Shay Shay,
Maybe.
that shit was hilarious. He said, "Hey nigga, y'all seen the Club Shay Shay? Well, Shay Shay, that nigga gay." That nigga had them tight ass pants on his nuts, had his legs gapped open like a
Yeah,
prostitute, like a
yeah.
female prostitute in front of Cat Williams, all buff on steroids and shit. And Cat Williams all comfortable than a motherfucker because he had to look at that nigga's nuts. Eddie
Yeah,
Griffin, he is Illuminati. He might have sold out long, but Eddie Griffin, he must be stopped doing ritual because he's just doing comedy stand up. He ain't been on a movie in 20 years.
yeah. And that whole Shannon Sharp shit is weird because it's like, he's a freaky ass nigga. Like, I don't really he come across like a pansexual, to be honest with you. Like,
He's a trisexual.
hey,
Try anything.
hey.
So I mean, think about this, man. If you thought about the Shannon Sharp case, the whole thing is all fucked up and fruity and suspicious. So like last year, he was Shannon Sharp. It was when he came, Shannon Sharp when he got popular, people call him, "We don't care. You used to play nigga, you gay," every 5 seconds. So
Yup.
the Illuminati said to Shannon Sharp, "Do this, fake it. That go on Instagram live and make some
Mhm.
sex sounds with a prostitute, and you people won't say you gay no more." So
Yup.
that's what he did.
And do we know? Do we have proof, like evidence that was a woman moaning? Do we even? That could have been it could have been a
It
tranny.
could
It could have
do it.
been. We don't know
There's and
what.
there's men that can do the there's men that
Hey,
can sound like women anyway.
that's what I'm saying. We to this day we don't have video footage of him making love to a woman.
Remember when Young Buck got caught with the transvestite? The transvestite was just a man in drag, but that man in drag sounded like a girl, except sometimes his voice would break and sound like a man. But his I don't can't say the F word and shit, but sometimes his punk voice. You don't love me anymore, Young Buck. Man said, I'm doing a bad woman. I'm doing a bad woman. I can't sound like a woman, so I'm doing a bad woman impression. There's dudes out here that can do sound just like a
Yeah,
ball. They still have their balls.
saying
Out there that can sound like a girl for real.
that's what I'm like. There's no videotape of this dude being having sex with a woman to this day. So then they talk about these two new accusers or whatever, and it's just I don't care. Like, I don't feel anything. I don't feel sympathy for him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care.
Shannon Sharp's hold up. I mean, all NFL are me and my acquaintance Craig Blassie talk about all the time how he's a bigger sports fan than I am. Still plays sports video games from like he plays the older ones like '05 and '04 sports games and stuff. And we be talking about how sports are completely been rigged, man, from the beginning. Like, look at even Tom Brady. Like, that was the most rigged shit. His career was the most rigged shit ever. If he wasn't just the good looking white guy they picked to be the star of the league at that point in history, he would have got his ass sacked in the pocket every time because the big old black dude was going to sack his ass. And let's get real here. The league was not racist, every quarterback be black because black men can be smart and they know they have the strength and they know how to play. They know the sport of football so good they could just know how to play it. Know call the plays and know I'm going to run the ball, I'm going to throw the ball or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They would know all the plays.
Hmm. That's interesting. I never heard that take before.
Dude, that's why recently they had in the news the rise of the black quarterback. Like they said, this came out about 5 years ago, but it was like, I said when this came out, I was like, are you shitting me? Because if the league was not rigged, every quarterback be black.
Man. But there's that
Because
narrative that black people are too dumb
that's the whole fake narrative. That's not true. McNabb wasn't dumb. McNabb was a great, good quarterback.
he was a great quarterback.
So, dude, there was even the Dallas Cowboys would have. We have Dak Prescott now, who's a very light skinned black dude. But we've had a. If the league was not rigged, we would have a dark skinned brothers and light skinned brothers that would be phenomenal. And they could do. They know how to. They have the physical strength and the intelligence to run that ball and throw that ball and know the plays and everything.
So, do you feel like there'll ever be like like what do you call that though? Is that racism or classism or
It's both, man, because it's basic, but it's also the league is completely controlled because the league is free. It's even league. Every modern sport is a Freemasonic creation. Every sport is takes place in a square or a diamond. Baseball's a diamond, which is a square turned on 45 degrees. Football is a rectangular square, and so it's And then basketball course, the court, like a courtroom, a court, um, is rectangular, like the square rectangular, because squares are very sacred to Freemasonry. Because Freemasonry is basically taking ancient Egyptian knowledge and using it. It's basically when the Europeans took ancient Egyptian knowledge from Egypt and now they converted it into Freemasonry. That's all. But it's just basically using free. They're using ancient Egyptian knowledge for modern racism, and they have to mock black people at any time they can. That's their whole ritual. I don't know if you know Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller died 2 months ago. He was on, he was served in the Korean War. He was a black dude that was a black activist and spokesperson for black people. That he died at 96 years old, and he basically wrote a book on counter racism and talked about all that. How the white supremacy is worldwide. It's a whole system that controls every aspect of our life. When you go get a job, it's like the Matrix. When you go get a job, you gotta deal with racism. Why do they ask you when you go get a job, are you black, white, or Hispanic?
I never even thought about that shit.
Every time they ask you what your race is, they're trying to do racism. Why does it matter what color you are? If racism is over, why does it matter what color you are when you go apply for a job?
Right.
Military or civil, anything. Why when you apply for a job, why do they ask you your race? Why does it
Right.
matter your race? Now they ask you what your pronouns are.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
pretty
and that
great.
and then Mr. Foley said that was wild and crazy because he says all white men do is homosexuality.
Yeah. Shit is weird, man. This shit like this
It's diabolical then also.
shit is fucking beyond weird, man. This shit going on every day. It's just on my fucking timeline. It's just I just scroll past the majority of the shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really just
Yeah, because it is a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck to see the nonsense in the media. The media is no. I go days and days without looking at mainstream media because it's sensory overload.
yeah, yeah,
And also, they're propping every news story I always call it a news story because even if there's truth in the news story, and by the time you hear it, it's a story. They've manipulated it. they've made it package it in a way to serve an agenda they have. So it's sensory overload. So it's like, how can you decide when they have the media has an agenda by the time you hear something, it's been filtered through tons of people that make up the news and these programmers. So by the time you hear something, it's completely corrupted
right.
for an
And,
agenda.
but the thing that kills me are the people, like the human parents, that just hear some shit and then just repeat it like they fuck with the most confidence in the world, like they know what the fuck is going on, but they know what the fuck is really going on in the world.
When Handy Sook happened 12 years ago, parents were not even parents in Florida and parents in California were pulling their kids out of school, and they were thousands of miles away from the supposed incident. That shows you the power of the media. If you're in, if you're in, if you're in Orlando or you're in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, and you hear about Handy Sook, why are you getting scared all the way across the country? He gonna teleport and get you, you kid? I mean, this guy got a super jet to come get you.
But the sad part is, fast forward, that shit is damn near normalized.
It happens now. There's some type of incident in the media once a week. Back then, it was only once every 6 months. Now it's once a week.
Yep. And I'm wondering, like, do you think there's like some sort of like AI shit entity that's like just creating all of this script, and then people
But
just
I
going
still think
along
there's
with it?
human beings, even if they're using AI. I still think there's wicked human beings writing the script, helping to write the script. They use AI to augment it,
Yeah.
but they mainly are use evil and wicked human beings writing the script. You remember Elliot Rogers? That was a bonkers one too. That it made no dang sense. And then we were talking about on the phone earlier today about the Micah X Johnson one in Dallas, right? That one's bonkers because they said they blew the Negro up with a bomb. They
God,
didn't shoot him. They didn't snipe him. Like just
yeah.
a Negro with a semi-automatic rifle. They have to blow him up with a bomb.
Yeah.
Made no sense. A robot. Remember, the story says in 2016 now, they used a military grade robot to drop a bomb near him and blow him up.
That sounds
And
crazy.
ABC News had I remember when it happened. ABC News had a CGI um, video to show this.
That sounds. So you think the whole thing was fake?
I think well, it's you have hybrid events where you would have they could they could pop off some rounds with some blanks, and then they pretend to unalive a guy, just like a movie. It's like asking me, is a movie fake? Well, there actually was a person with holding a weapon, but it was firing blanks in the air to simulate a firefight. But was it so? Something did actually happen, but is it real? Like, no, what you think happened didn't happen. It's
Right.
almost like you remember pizza. I can't know if they censor this word, but remember Pizzagate from
Yeah.
about 8 years ago. That guy was actually they censored this. He used to be able to you could find he was an IMDb actor. The guy walked into the pizza store with a blank firing um, rifle, and it didn't cause no damage in the store because a real rifle would have ripped the roof, right? Because a rifle bullet's going AR-15 bullets going 3,000 feet per second. So yeah, it's going pretty fast. So that there's no way it wouldn't cause any damage to the store. But supposedly it caused very minor damage to the store because he was saying they use that to deflect from their whole trafficking they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that makes me think about the whole Donald Trump situation when they shot him. You know, he apparently got shot in the ear and shit. And I'm just like,
Man,
man.
that was the fakest thing I ever seen. Because he, why is his ear now fine if he was
Yeah.
supposedly wounded? Your ear don't grow back. Was he Wolverine? What?
Yeah.
How did the ear grow back?
He didn't even need stitches or anything. He didn't need
Mm-mm.
no medical
Because he
attention
just
at
he had
all.
he is an actor, so he put food coloring on his ear,
Yeah,
and that was it. Red food coloring on his ear. I'm the bulletproof president, America. We'll
yeah.
make America great again. They can't stop us. Yeah, you're bulletproof because everyone's bulletproof to blanks unless they're point blank.
I think they just got us. I don't know if they got us where they want us, where it's like you got the people that on one side they believe everything that mainstream media says, and you got the other side where I don't know if that's called like black pilled or whatever, or we just don't believe anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like I don't like the pill definitions because we can never agree on what's red pill mean, what does black pill mean. I just say we're all awakened at our level, whatever level we're at, and so we're at where you're awakened at the level you're at. So
Yeah, yeah,
and we're gonna have everyone's gonna agree on everything. Um, I don't believe in uh, di- uh digital or Bitcoin shit because I feel it's a scam. I got hacked last year on digital Bitcoin, so I feel it's a scam, right? So
yeah,
some guys, like I have an acquaintance, he's all on Bitcoin. I'm like, we're gonna agree to disagree because I'm all against it, right? Anything that's hackable, I'm not gonna be for it because you don't have with digital, you don't have nothing there. They control the digital completely. So I just it's where everyone's gonna be at different levels, different opinions about different things. So
yeah. I
I
think
just I think but I am one of those people that I think most events are staged events. I think sometimes local news will cover the events and they are really occurred, but I think most of mainstream events, anything that gets mainstream attention for months or weeks or whatever, I think most of those are CIA rituals. I think most of those are just that's my opinion. Can I prove it all? No, but that's my opinion about it because I look at when you look at the story what Sherlock Holmes had a saying in the original Sherlock Holmes books. He said, "One time is happenstance, twice is coincidence, and three times is enemy action." Right.
mm,
So if you believe if a coincidence happens three times in a row, four times in a row, five times in a row, when does it get to the point where that's conspiracy?
yeah,
Okay, you have Mike S. Johnson. He's very suspicious where he's blown up with a bomb. You have Handy Suck, a 112-pound little dude, goes and carries a rifle and has 1,000 rounds of ammunition, more than a U.S. soldier. How is he having all this ammunition to do all this? So it's like I always when you know weapons and you know how things actually work, you
yeah,
have to question what they're selling you because it's like how do you carry this little 120, 112 pound, and then you find out about numerology that certain numbers are sacred to the elite, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's what kind of that's what I kind of look at, so
And that reminds me of like the Las Vegas shit, which was insane, where the guy just kept bringing more and more suitcases into his room, and nobody thought to ask like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like, you know what I mean?
dude, I
He,
went to Vegas like in January 2024, and I can tell you that um the security a handgun, you can have one handgun in your check luggage. They're not going to give a shit in Vegas. But if you have rifle
yeah,
bags, and rifle bags, they're going to be like, no, sir. There's armed security in front of all casinos now.
yeah,
So good. I mean, you got a snowball's chance on in hell or the sun really because like if they put a bunch of rifles from an airport or you from a taxi or you rent a car, you had a bunch of rifles in your trunk or you drove your own personal car, you live near Vegas, you drove there, and you bring a bunch of rifles, armed security is going to stop you. So I don't know how. Even 2017, I think that's unlikely. Hadn't been to Vegas. I didn't go to Vegas 2017, but I went recently. But I know since that happened, they armed security is there. There are like multiple of them. There's at least in the casino I was staying at, they had at least five guards on duty, and probably more you couldn't even see back in probably in a guard shack somewhere. So you cannot bring a bunch of rifle cases into a Vegas hotel. I mean, casino hotel, whatever. That's going to be no, unless it was the one of the motels off the strip. That's not the one on the main strip. Yeah, But
Right.
he went to a major hotel, a major casino
Yeah.
hotel hybrid. There's
Mm,
no way you're bringing 20 rifle cases
bro.
in a hotel room. Vegas, it's so high tech. They know you broke the glass.
Mm,
There's no way he would be the security or police would have responded within 5 minutes tops to his. They would know exactly which hotel room the glass broke in, and they're gonna kick in the door and take you out, or they'll have a key to unlock the door and take
yeah.
you out.
Yeah.
And there'd be no way you wouldn't be able to only kill a few people because I'm sorry, unalive a few people because you would be caught and security's gonna take the elevator up to your room and be there in 10 minutes tops. No way you can get away with that. So I find that very suspicious. I remember there used to be a guy. He might be I think he was a shill. There used to be Professor Jim Fetzer. I don't know if you know that guy. He covered the Vegas one from
Yeah.
top to bottom when it happened, and he was saying this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard because he was pointing out all the things I'm pointing out.
Yeah. And what his channel got nuked or
He's
what?
been taken down multiple times. He's been fired. Was fired from his university job. I think he
Wow.
was in the Marine Corps, so he knows weapons. And
Wow.
so he was a Marine Corps training NCO in the Marine Corps. So he actually trained people to shoot the Marine Corps. He knows all about weapons. So when this guy is basically an shooting's implausible, it's really you have to take his expert opinion because he's saying just like I know weapons pretty dang well. You know, I reload, I shoot all the time. I know weapons pretty well. So when it looks implausible, when you're but to the people that are not they don't know weaponry and they're from up north, they're not raised around weaponry like I am, and they are told these ridiculous stories. They're like, oh, oh maybe a guy could just walk in there, 110-pound guy could walk in, 112-pound guy could walk into a kindergarten and just do that much damage with 1,000 rounds. And we know that I know in the army we only carry 6 magazines and 270 rounds. Okay, so any more than that is going to be like that's more than cops and soldiers carry in the battle. So that's like that's really wild. You're saying that a guy had more ammunition than that. It's like
Right.
really.
Right. No, I definitely agree. Like it's when they finally air any of these stories, they always put a narrative in there. It's not just, oh, this is what happened. They always try to tell you why. You know what I'm saying? They try to
Hmm.
force you to believe why somebody did something when it's like, nah, you're full of shit. You're just trying to whatever. You just got an agenda. But it's just sad that the average person, man, they just
They don't know weaponry, or they don't just pay attention to the story to see the where it doesn't make any sense.
yeah. It's
And the
just that
fact that
critical thinking.
yeah, the critical thinking is and like Mr. Fuller taught us. If you go back and watch Mr. Fuller's lectures, he says all thinking is just talking to yourself. That's all thinking is, talking to yourself and asking questions and answers. Why did that dude be able to get all these weapons past security? And does that make any logical sense?
Yeah.
No. If you believe that story, then I got a bridge to sell you in Kansas City on beachfront property. You go over it, give me the money, and I'll sell it to you.
Yeah. And I feel like people used to genuinely care about the actual truth, but now I feel like they kind of just made it like seeking truth has kind of become just like an entertainment type of thing. And now it's just
Hmm.
like people, even like truth seekers and stuff like people want to be entertained more than
People want
actually
to be
finding out
entertained. Yeah,
what's
and
going on.
that's the whole problem. People want to be entertained, and that's what people view the news as now. News, the north, east, west, south. But news people want to be entertained by the news. They want to be entertained. They don't want to be educated, and they want to be told what to think, not how to think.
Yeah. Yes, that's why, like I said, it's hard. I'm aware of a lot of stuff that's going on, but I don't search it out. I'm gonna be honest. I don't search any of this shit
Yeah,
out.
and it is kind of like it is overwhelming. Because I already know. that every time I need to see a news story, he's like, okay, that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. I mean, I don't know if you watched Truth Virus. They took him down, I think, a
Yeah,
month
yeah.
ago. But
I
Truth
know he got
Virus,
like what?
he,
He got like 15 channels.
yeah, he's had so many over the years. He's only
Jesus
been around 10 years.
Christ.
He's had so many. He's been taken down over and over and over and
Yeah,
over again.
yeah,
So it's like he makes the same video, Anunnaki Gold, Hell Da, Lizard Dick Joe. He makes the same video every
yeah,
time. One thing about him, he's like, yes, they see if CNN said it, they must be true. I'm like, yeah, that's what he. But that is true. But like, people are that dumb. Some people are that dumb. Like CNN said it, it must be true. And actually, the opposite is true because if think about if you were an evil tyrant on the level of Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, right, and you wanted to control the world you would you wouldn't make the news tell nothing but lies and deceit. You wouldn't make the news tell be fair and balanced and facts. It'll
yeah,
be lies and deceit to serve your agenda.
yeah. Propaganda. And but the thing that kills me the most is because I thought I was so naive when I first woke up or whatever. I'm thinking, okay, we supposed to do all this research and learn about the truth so we can share it to our fellow people we fuck with in real life and shit. But then I realized you share this information with people that's supposed to be, on our level, whatever, and they don't take it seriously or they dismiss it. And then like 5 years later, they're like, you know what, you were right. I should have listened to you. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Why? That's why I compare it to the Matrix, man. It's like you have two types of people. You can have two types of people when you try to wake people up in your family or any person in the world. Period. You got people like um uh, where they're gonna be like they're gonna be like, no, I can't. That's not true. You're crazy. You're full of shit. And then you have people like Cipher who'll be like, yeah, you're right, but I'm gonna just sell out, or I'm not gonna listen to that. I just want my steak and eat it too,
yeah,
and I don't care what the truth is. I just want to be happy, you know. And Cipher and the Matrix sold out, and he just got a steak and said, "Ignorance is bliss," right?
yeah.
There's
It's,
channels on YouTube that
it's
say Cypher is right. That's the problem. If you think Cypher is right, you need help because like you live in a dream. I'd rather live in the harsh reality of
yeah.
the Nebuchadnezzar than the fake phony world of the Matrix,
But
where
see,
you
like it takes a different type of person, man. You gotta to know to accept that everything is a fucking illusion and a lie, and just accept
that's a
that and
tough pill
walk
to
around with
swallow.
that. Huh?
That's a tough pill to swallow, man. And that's completely bullshit. All they're doing is sending people to die for no reason.
Fact.
That's why I cried when I watched Warfare recently, man. Because it's like when you learn that, okay, if you're in the military, you learn that's a lie. Then you get out here, you're treated like shit by the police.
Yeah,
That's a lie. And then you get out here and you're treated like piece of shit on the job. You know that's a lie. So everything else they do, it's a lie. They lie to you, and they all they do is doing you dirty.
yeah.
That's a tough pill, man.
All we are is a number. That's it.
A slave and a number.
That's it.
When you're in
That
the military, you're just a number. When you're out here, you're a number. When you punch in the clock to work job, you're a number. They don't give a fuck about you.
you know, and that like that shit just people and now our people like people in your community start treating you like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, humanity is cooked. It's over,
Well,
dude.
people, there's so many ciphers in the world. It's really sad there's that many ciphers in the world
Yeah, because I
because
I deliver food, and the majority of people I deliver to, it's so annoying walking up to somebody's doorstep knowing I'm being recorded, knowing my face is being, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't give you permission to record me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with
well,
these,
yeah, yeah, but the
cameras
old
and
saying
shit.
goes, you don't have, you are doing food delivery. They have the right to record on their prop. I mean, even though ownership is really an illusion. You think the natives, tribes always said native peoples, whether it's black or Mexican tribes or whatever, always said you can't own the land because land really owns you. because when you
Right.
die, you go back in the dirt and you're nothing. So,
Right.
I mean, but people, I understand people want to record on their property, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I get why yeah, they're recording you is kind of fit, but I can't see all these people that get mad about people. You're in public, whether you're at a grocery store or you're in a parking lot, and people get mad they're being recorded, or you have these cops getting mad they're being recorded. Like, why? And you're in public, they're like, you have no right to privacy in public, and yet they're mad. I don't get it. You're just if you're not doing anything wrong, why do you care about being recorded? Like in public. I mean, but I understand you're concerned about it because you're afraid of AI algorithm is
Yeah.
tracking you
Yeah.
and they got your face, like in the
Yeah.
Matrix. Once Agent Smith got your face,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, we're watching this Negro. We're
Yeah.
gonna a Negro that looks like him stole a car last week. We're gonna
Yeah.
put out APB on his ass, even though he's a
Yeah.
law-abiding dude. He's
Yeah.
actually slinging sandwiches for $15 an hour or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he's law abiding, but we don't care. We don't just put a Negro in a cage and make money off the prison industrial complex, putting a Negro in a cage and then him be mistreated by the guards and other inmates. This is
It's
this
just
whole
like
system is pathetic.
it just what kills what just makes me just so fucked up is just like the constant just they keep pushing the goalposts and people just keep going for it. People just keep submitting. It's like, bro, we're living on our knees already. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, I mean,
Man,
what more? Like,
I
what
mean,
more?
when you think about it, it's like I don't know if you heard the whole analogy boiling a frog, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you boil a frog. If you just take a hot pot of water, it's already boiling, you throw a toad in there, he'll jump his little butt out right
yeah.
immediately.
No,
You crank up the temperature slowly, he'll sit there and cook and die. So
yeah.
it's like that's what they're doing. They just boil that frog slowly, and we're just sitting there cook. And normies are just sitting there cooking,
They
and
have
they're
it.
gonna look up, and we're gonna have jackboot thugs
Yeah.
kicking your teeth in. You everything is surveillance, and it's not for your own good. It's just to watch you, like 1984. So it's
Yeah. And
like,
but you know what it is? Like it's just this we I can feel it. Like I can feel it feels like the walls are caving in as far as all the propaganda and the programming and social engineering that's being accepted. I'm like, oh, we're fucked. Like to the
don't you
point where
remember?
it's like you probably no, we probably shouldn't be having kids type fuck like
I
within the
don't.
next
I
50
told
years.
my silly butt uncles. He asked me. I had an uncle. He went to Nam, and he's kind of he. But my mom said he was crazy before he went to Nam. He asked me, "So Corey, why don't you have kids or anything?" I was like, "Uncle, have you seen the world lately?" And I'm like, he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You see the police state. You see the economy. You see everything's going down. What's the point?" His son didn't have kids either. His son is a little older than me. His son is not having kids either. So our generation, his son is early 40s. I'm mid 30s. And me and you are the same age, around the same age. So it's like, so many smart people are like, we're not gonna have kids. We're not gonna know. We don't care if we beat the baddest bitch in the world in terms of looks. We're not having no kids, period, because the world is fucked up.
It sucks though, because like, it's people like you and like that I'm like, yeah, we it's like idiocracy. The smart people wasn't having
Well,
kids,
yeah,
and
and
all the
that's so
dumbass
true about
people.
idiocracy. Like dummies, they be pumping out kids, like for real.
Yeah, you know. But it's just like damn. It's just I think about it, and there's two sides to the coin and everything. But I'm like, bro, if I can barely afford to live myself now, what is it gonna be like 25 years from now if I have a kid and you know what I'm saying? When they like what? I would never want my kid to
And the
fucking
world
go
is,
through.
and remember, this world is is satanic because think about it. When you are struggling to pay your bill and all your bills and shit,
Yeah,
you're under stress and under stress and you're in turmoil.
yeah,
That causes more negative spiritual energy to be in the world, and they're like
yeah,
Emperor Palpatine feeding off the dark side energy.
yeah,
They feed off of that. Us, every time we're struggling, we're always struggling. We're always fighting. We're always going to work. We're always doing this and that and whatever.
yeah,
Let's get up and do this shit now, do this shit. And like It's always something, and so it's that's the dark energy is always like a parasite. It's like Mark Passy. I think he's a shill, but one thing he did say that was true. He had an illustration of an evil wizard at the top of a pyramid siphoning off
Mm,
energy off the people, right? And
mm,
that's what I always feel like they just siphon off this energy. Are even normies? They're just negative, and normies are the most depressed people. When you think they're always going around. Oh, they're so they see TV, they're just scared, and they just
yeah,
see they're always trying to go to your work, getting better job, and they're always just go, 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 go
yeah,
until you're dead, and then you're in the dirt dead. So they really,
yeah. And
what was the point?
they're like slaves to their anxiety and
Exactly.
worry.
They walk around and just anxiety wreck. They're
Yeah.
emotional anxiety attack wreck.
And I try my hardest to like stay away, like myself, to avoid those energies and shit, because it's like it's just not, you know, where it's going. Once you get to a certain level spiritually, you know where that negative energy is, you know, you're being
I
fed
don't. Even,
upon.
I don't
You're
want to even
literally,
talk to normies anymore. When I talk to normies, where I had a like I told you on the phone, I had a just so happened he was Cuban descent guy. Told me Donald Trump was gonna save the world, and I just left immediately and didn't never come back. I was thinking, "Bull and Diver Rockefeller gets done with our asses, or whoever it is, Rothschilds and Rockefellers get done with our butts. It's gonna be Donald Trump is not gonna save us. He's gonna look at us and laugh and get paid." So, and then I one time years ago as a kid. I was in my early 20s. A news story happened, and I was in the library looking at comic books, and an old lady says, "I can't believe what happened on the news today. The shooter just walked up to people and said, 'I want to kill you because I want to take the God away from you,' or something." That the shooter said. I'm like, "Bitch, do you really think guys go around with a gun and saying this stupid shit?
yeah.
Are you kidding me?" And they somehow the survivors of the shooting knew what the shooter you adrenaline is so bad when you get shot at, you won't even remember that type of shit.
Yeah,
And they asked you about it. If you got shot at, wouldn't even remember
yeah.
what the shooter said. You'd just be glad to be alive. That was all you would know. So I mean, lady, are you kidding me? So that was years. I can't remember the what shooting that she was referencing, but it's just like people are when you run into normies, man. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, what would you
It's like,
do? What would you do if you say you got a normie pregnant? How, what would you do? Like if a normie told you, "Hey, I missed my period. I'm 2 months late." What do you do? What do you do?
mm, I was to be like Peter Griffin, be like, "Come to the top of the stairs."
Damn
I got like a funny answer, right?
it. I thought you was gonna say you know you climb onto the top of the roof.
I'm not I'm not checking out myself. Shit, if I was dumb enough to knock a chick up,
No,
I'm gonna have to
no,
pay the price, right?
no. I thought you was gonna say you climb on top of the roof with the AR.
No, well, once I believe in AK because when you gotta kill every motherfucker in the room, AK-47, except no substitute. But I wouldn't.
Jesus.
I wouldn't bang out with the AK. Like, no, I would just like be like, okay, whatever. I gotta pay you child support, whatever. Because man, I have an acquaintance. Like I told you that acquaintance. He be raw dogging prostitutes and porn stars, and it's like the dude is crazy because Mexican guys are crazy like that. So I'm like, he said, I hope I didn't get my last girl I did a sex with a sex scene with. I paid her, I tricked off $1,000 to do something. And I did it raw. I'm like, well, if you did, you'll have to pay child support to a chick in Miami the rest of your life. I mean, good luck with that shit.
But I'm saying, like, you be okay with having a normie kid? How would you make, like? How would that work with somebody like you? You know what I'm saying?
No, then I would just be, dude. I always say that men don't have babies, women have babies. That means you just pay. The man's paying for it, but the kid is not yours anyway. Even if it is yours biologically, that's what I'm trying to say. Politically, a man can't have a baby because of the politics of America, right? So
Yeah.
it's like you ain't. It's just another bill I have to pay. That's it.
Jesus. Lord have mercy. Motherfucker, a cable bill. Shit.
Yeah, that's all it would be.
You wouldn't even try to wake up or nothing. You just
No, you can't wake up a dummy, man. You can't wake up a dummy. You can't wake up a normie. You should know. I've realized that years ago. I realized you can't wake up a normie. For what? It's like trying to. It's like the homosexual gender. You can you make a homosexual guy straight? Are
yeah,
you if a guy's a trick and he's addicted to buying prostitutes, can you make him stop? If
yeah.
a guy's addicted to drugs, can you make him stop?
So you know
No.
what it is. I'm gonna be honest. This is where my kind of naivete, whatever, comes into it. I'm always like, well, so if I'm trying to wake up a girl I'm talking to, right? I'm like, well, if she loves me, if she really loves me enough, she'll try to understand where I'm coming from, and maybe she'll
Mm,
just it'll resonate with her soul. And-
I went to 6 months while I was in the army, right? And she was too normy, and I couldn't wake her up. And it's like, I learned that in 2021. You cannot wake up a person. They could love having sex with you. They even could love you for as much as a woman can love a man, and still, they're not waking up.
yeah. That's sad
No.
though, because I thought that was the whole point. When you invest in your time, energy, this is shit you can't get back into a person. I thought, trust. I'm thinking, okay, this is just information. This is what the fuck?
And no, see, if a woman just likes to date you and have sex with you, they just look at you. Okay, you have a quirk of you're one of these truth or conspiracy guys. I
Yeah,
like just having sex with him, but he's just a quirky conspiracy guy. So I will probably end this relationship in a few months and move on to a normie guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what a woman's thinking about. If you admit to her everything on the news is fake and the jab was bullshit and all this stuff, and
yeah,
they like, okay, well, I'm gonna go make some food, and then we're
yeah,
gonna, go to a movie tonight and whatever we're gonna do, and then we'll make love, and then all that stuff. That's all the female's thinking about. She's only think. See, remember, I always say about women, girls are like children. So
yeah,
you gotta be like, remember that. You gotta remember. It's like telling a 5-year-old, the world is controlled by evil satanic freaks. And then the 5-year-old's like, dude, I want to go watch Blue's Clues and play video games. I ain't trying to think about all that.
right, 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 right. I got enough on my plate.
Exactly. He trying to play video games
Yeah,
and watch the Blues Clues and Dora the Explorer. Now Dora the
yeah.
Explorer got trans in there, so it's like, or Blues Clues did, or one of them. I don't know, all of
It's
them probably
funny
do.
because I saw like a short where they said Dora the Explorer was based off basically the bitch was trapped in a computer or some shit. That's what it was based on because everything was related to computers.
Well, in Spanish, la computadora means
Yeah,
computer.
you know, it was pretty dope to but it's just like what fucks me up all the time is just I just in relationship wise, I'm too aware. I'm too aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's exhausting for the girls that I be talking to. They're just like they want me to be sleep. They want
Yeah,
me.
and dude, that's what you're gonna. If you're even you could be a good ladies man. Remember, women ain't thinking about no conspiracies, what true or real or whatever.
Yeah,
They're thinking about getting their hair done, go see a movie, go see a play, go talk to the girlfriends, have
yeah,
sex with a good-looking guy they think that's attractive, and
yeah.
shit like that. They ain't thinking about these conspiracies of who's running the world and everything and
Well,
stuff.
but it's sad though. It's like because it seemed like the shit they be worried about is completely insignificant. You
To
know,
you, it is, but to women and especially modern program women, it's important, and they gotta find out what the Bailey sisters and Beyonce and the City Girls are doing. That's important. But the
yeah,
conspiracy shit you're talking about, how they're all programmed puppets and Illuminati
yeah,
sex kitten drones,
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
give a
yeah.
shit about what you talking
Yeah,
about.
dude, it's sad. You're sad when you know you fucking a drone.
Yeah, well, that's an NPC. You know, you got bitches that are just NPCs,
Yeah,
and that's what they is. Like even when you play GTA, you got NPCs, right? So
yeah.
that's what they is. They just
It's sad
NPC.
though, man. It's like where are the females that want to level up? Where they at?
You gotta remember, dude, you asking too much. You want to take and remember, you gotta remember, women are just out to have girls just want to have fun.
Yeah,
Think about conspiracies hurt in their brain, and that's why even the Matrix, it had like, oh, the woman kisses Neo, and he wakes up. It's like, no, in real life, the woman would not even care. What They Live is more accurate. Remember, They
yeah,
Live, where the
yeah.
woman turned on him and said, "Hey, I'm not turning against the aliens with all the money. I'm gonna sell out."
Mm.
Shit, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie They Live, but that is
No, no, I
accurate.
saw it. I saw it. Yeah, that was a good movie.
But the woman was accurate to that movie. She turned against the dude and said, shot him in the back and said, "Hey, I'm a sellout for real." The whole
Yeah,
Trinity in the movie Matrix is a more ridiculous version, of evil world like that. A woman, she
I,
going to side with Neo.
I've been saying this for a long. I think we just gotta. I know maybe one or two, solid conspiracy theorist bitches. I think we just gotta start cloning these motherfuckers. That's what I think. That's the only way it will work. We just have to clone these bitches. The handful of good bitches in the world, we gotta clone them. Take them to
Because
clone
they're
aid.
rare.
Like it's sad. It's really sad how rare good women are. Like that's spiritual and shit. And I don't even know if we ever had this conversation. Like, do you believe in like a god or a demiurge or what the fuck? Like,
I
what the
want to
fuck?
believe in one. I kind of, I mean, I talked to him years ago. I on my channel. I interviewed Mr. Williams, Mr. Walter Williams. There's two Walter Williams that are famous black men, but the one I interviewed, he wrote the book called "The Historical Origin of Christianity," about the Egyptian origin of Christianity and stuff like that. But I want to believe in a creator. But I always say to even joking to my mom, it's like I always say like God just threw his hands up a long time ago, So that's why I say, man, I don't know if there's any hope of creator saving us or whatever, saying like he's might be just a clockmaker type of God or something. Like he don't really interfere. He lets his government, these corporations do whatever, and the elite psychopaths do whatever they want. I mean, if you look at the world, you're like, it scratches. I saw I can just scratch my head and say, how could an actual God exist? Of course, I'm not a Christian because I know Christians will get mad. I don't want to offend anybody, but I just find the story ridiculous. And when you learn how it kind of came about, you kind of laugh. How it's based on other religions and stuff like that. But it's just, it is what it is, man. It's just like I can't really. I wish there was a God, but the more I live, the more I think about it, be like, hmm. There was a cowboy movie, I think it had was it Kiefer Sutherland and his father in it, and the son said to his father, "Is like God, I said he said to his dad, he said, while I was in the Civil War, I saw so many men tore apart by Gatling guns and cannons. I don't think there is a God, So it's like I get to that point sometimes. I'm just like, is there one? You know?
Yeah,
So it's very depressing when you think about it because you're like, I don't know. I don't think I'm the more and more I live, and more I see there probably isn't one. Is not a god, or he's not a like you're saying demiurge would be the Greek term of demiurge. Is he a there's a higher power, but he's not a positive, benevolent figure. He could be both or just completely evil. Would be more
yeah,
likely.
yeah. I also think that like whatever created us, if they gave us free will and said, "Hey, do it," I can't blame God necessarily for the bullshit we do. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how I feel. We down here, if we just killing machines and shit, Hey, he said the motherfucker said do what you want to do. Y'all motherfuckers gonna kill each other and rape each other and fuck each other up. That's on y'all. That's y'all choices.
Yeah, but I think God could, like the way they portray it each Egyptian myth doesn't really do this. Greek myths, even though the Greeks are known booty bandits, even their gods are. I mean, Zeus always interferes in affairs of man, so he'll always come down and say, "Hey, I might have took the booties of 8 children like Ganymede last night, but still, that's too much for even me. I'm gonna send down Hercules, and
God
he's gonna kick some
damn.
ass."
God
If you
damn.
look at the Zeus, like Zeus was taking kidnapping babies named the little boy he kidnapped was named Ganymede. That's why the planet Jupiter, the main one of the moons of Jupiter is called Ganymede because that was the lover of Zeus, a little boy. This is all facts, not making. But yeah, so I was like, but even in the Greek legend, he sent down Hercules. He make a baby with a mortal woman
Right.
dressed as he would pretend to be the king. Zeus is so sick, such a sick story. He pretends to be the king of this queen, and he makes a baby with this queen, and it becomes Hercules or Heracles. And he's a half god, unlimited strength, right? So it's like, but they always make it where the god interferes with the affairs of man. Um, but it's like I don't. How can people Christians blow my mind? So God did all this interfering back then, but where is He now? And then why is the Bible so similar to the Greek and Egyptian legend? So Christians have it's like normie Christians just blow my mind. How can they believe this shit?
I listened to this. I listened to this content creator, and he says that he takes his stance where he says it's like he talks about how people talk about Jesus dying for our sins. He's like, it's impossible for anyone to die for our sins. Like, do you agree with that? Like, that's
I've been
actually
saying that for
like,
years. How
like
can
it's
you another person, demigod, or God, or another human die for your sins? All say a guy he like typically white men are. Say a white man has molested his own daughter or son, like they typically do. How can you die for that sin? How can you make that right by dying? How can you make that right? You can't make that right by dying. And one has nothing to do with the other. How can you die for a sin that's completely unjustified?
I never. I'm gonna be honest, and I grew up in a Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? I went to like a private school when up to like fifth grade,
But
fourth
they
grade.
never teach you what about Serapis Christus, do they? Never touch you about Serapis Christus.
I don't recall.
Did they ever teach you that there was no J 2,000 years ago? That G originally, at least even the original Bibles, it was called
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, they don't. They didn't teach us that
So
shit. We was
there's
like,
no J 2,000 years ago. They know we ain't no Jesus because there ain't no J 2,000 years ago.
you know.
The
So
J was a new letter only around 400 years. So it was it was Serapis, then Isus. But they don't teach you about the Council of Nicaea, the Council of Constantinople. They don't teach you about that shit. How they established a doctrine of that Jesus would be born of a virgin and be able to walk on water and all these. They took a Greco-Egyptian deity from when the Greeks conquered Egypt and made this character into Jesus. They didn't teach you that. They got to keep that secret. See, if you found out the truth, then you'd be like, oh, okay, so there could be a God up there, but he ain't Jesus because they ain't no J 2,000 years ago anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there couldn't be a Jesus because there ain't no J.
yeah, and I might go to hell. I might go. I might. You know what I'm saying? You might find a little KT doing a doggy paddle in a lake of fire for saying this, but I've always felt like Jesus Christ was like a mascot for whatever religious agenda they got going on. I've always felt like that. I've never
Well,
needed anybody to
they've
tell me.
done that since Constantine said he saw the cross in the sky. They've done that. Remember, the original cross is the Ankh, and the original Trinity is man, woman, and child. Je I always say about Jesus, I had my acquaintance laughing. I said, "So Jesus and God are up there? Are they up there getting it on because God don't have a wife?" he got the Holy Spirit, which is not a female dove, maybe. Which think about it. Why is there a Trinity in Christianity? It makes no sense.
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy, dude. We at the hour mark. I wasn't even trying to keep you on here this long, man. God,
Okay, so you
hey,
want to wrap it up, or are you going?
yeah, no diddy. We gonna wrap it up, but um, but nah, I believe in a creator. I just never ever got caught up on this. It never resonated with my soul. Now, do you believe in Christ consciousness at all?
Yeah,
Or
but you think about that, man. You gotta know where the words come from. Like Christ, it's the term Christ is a Greek word coming from Christus, but it comes from anointed with oil. Why? You go. I mean, this is you're not. And people can be like, "Oh, that
anointed?
sounds."
It better not be baby oil. Armchair.
Well, we're gonna get to where it comes from. I was about to explain it because it's similar to that. Because back in ancient times, I think even in ancient Greece, they would when you would get married, because in ancient Greece, they only got married to women for political reasons, just to have children. Ancient Greece was a homosexual culture. This is a fact. So they always said boys and men are for love and women are for babies. That means they dated other men, but they only had women for to make babies, right?
Yeah,
So when they did get married to a woman, though, for political reasons, they would anoint their forehead with oil. This is to symbolize that to be a fertile marriage because there was no KY jelly back then, and the woman was not turned on by the man. They would use oil, put oil on their genitals, and that's why they would anoint each other with oil on their head.
mm,
So
wow.
that's where women a lot of black Christian women will be like, I don't want to keep demons out of my house. I'm gonna anoint the door handles with oil. Don't even know the origin of what anointing with oil came from.
Damn, that's crazy.
So a lot of things, most things in the ancient world comes to either is violence or sex.
Yeah,
Sorry to break it to people, but either it's sex or it's violence. Period. The cross comes from the sword. The ankh represents the womb of a woman united with the penis of a man from ancient Egypt. Because as long as you're having children, eternal life. But I say life should just go ahead and end, so I'm not having children. But you know that's just me because I'm kind of pessimistic now.
he just gave up.
Yeah. What else to do? I mean, I agree. I mean, and the MGTOW move was co-opted, but I agree with the tenets of MGTOW, the original tenets of MGTOW, because it's like, why are you going to have children and get married for what? I don't know if you've ever seen the original the movie Fight Club from all those years, 1999.
Yeah,
Because Brad Pitt said, "My dad said go to college. After I graduated high school, I went to college. And I graduated. My dad said get a job. I got a job. Then my dad said get married. And then Edward Norton says you can't get married because uh, we were a society raised by women, and another woman's the last thing you need. We're a bunch of 30-year-old boys trying to be men." So it's like kind of pointless. Marriage in 2025 is pointless to me. I just met a veteran at the a veteran club. He's getting divorced, and then she's taking half his veteran paycheck. It's like it's crazy what's going on.
yeah.
You
That's a
got guys tricking out here paying $1,000 but tricking is but like if guys are just sex crazed like that, a lot of Hispanic guys sex crazed, a lot of black guys sex crazed. All races can be sex crazed. I think Hispanic guys are the number one sex crazed people. It's gonna sound racist, but I think culturally they are sex crazed, right? Have you noticed that about Mexican guys? I don't know if there's a lot of Mexicans in your area.
dude. It's a whole bunch of fucking Mexican people
Aren't
out
they always chasing women, dude? Mexicans are
everywhere.
always they're either in love for the homies or chasing women.
Jesus. So when my whole thing with relationships, right? I just as I'm getting older and this is constantly I'm constantly just going through this pattern of just like these bitches just get tired of me. I guess my personality is too strong or whatever, you know. So I'm just like, are we in a are we when we involve ourselves in these relationships, is it really just for us to either distract ourselves or grow or learn more than it is for us to, because bro, investing all of this time and energy into somebody for them to just be like, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm like, what the like that's I understand why people get their heads split. You know what I mean? Allegedly,
Well,
like,
that's you're gonna learn the hard way that women change men today like they change underwear.
yeah,
There's a reason why women can just say, you know what, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. I mean, I'm do porn on the side and stuff like that. There's a reason that's happening because they're so promiscuous anyway. They might as well, so shit, might as well get paid. Say like a girl is never yours; it's just your turn.
right. And that's sad though, man. That's sad.
It's sad, but I mean, I'm not. I don't sit there and cry about it because it's like it is what it is. I'm not trying. I really don't want a chick. You know, I don't really. I'm not really. I'm glad I'm not in a generation where it's normal, more and more normal to be not and be married because it's like I don't know if I could have done it, man. Because that's a woman's gonna get on my nerves. And outside of sex, outside of when the pleasant times, what I mean, a woman gonna get on my nerves, man. I'm not the type of patient guy for like woman nagging and doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you know, only woman I can tolerate is really my mom. Like, women dating, bro, I don't have the patience. Because the last time I had a girlfriend, it was like it's a pain in that butt to me. Because they always like, well, when are we gonna be? When are you gonna meet my parents? When are we gonna get married and stuff? I'm like rolling my eyes. I'm like, just shut up. I
Nigga
don't really care.
different. This nigga armchair is different, man.
I don't want a lovey dovey, man. I don't want all that. I don't want to just have sex. I want to just have sex and kick it. Like that's all I want to do with a chick. I don't want the deep shit of. All I want is a female homie that you get love from the female homie. That's all I want, man. I don't want all this deep shit.
Yeah.
It's gotta be marriage or it's gotta be then we gotta have a kid and all this. No, I don't want all that. I just want to have fun and just.
Yeah, I be tapping into my NPC side, and I ain't gonna lie, I be wanting to play house with a bitch. I ain't even gonna lie. I be what like our last couple of relationships, I've been playing house with these bitches, and the house always end up burning up. The house end up on fire. So, did you drop out? What happened? Try to get armchair back up in here, y'all. But we about to wrap this show up, man. This is really just supposed to be a test. It's the first time, YouTube is allowing people to collab through YouTube. We don't have to use StreamYard. Well, I think they only allow one person on here at a time. So we'll see how this works. I'm gonna see what it sounds like on the playback. Hopefully it doesn't sound like pure shit. And we're gonna go ahead and close it out here. So shout out Armchair for pulling up and making time. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I'm gonna catch you on the next one, man. Salute.